I've always been fascinated by the stories of ancient Rome's most influential figures, and today I'm diving into the life of a man who redefined wealth and power in the 1st century BC, Marcus Licinius Crassus, a name that might not be as familiar as Julius Caesar or Augustus, but trust me, his impact on history is no less significant. We're talking about a man so wealthy he could have bought the entire Roman army and still had change left over for a few palaces. So buckle up as we journey back to a time when togas were in fashion and one man's ambition knew no bounds. Now, you might be wondering, how did this Crassus fellow become so filthy rich? Well, it all started with a silver spoon, quite literally. Born into the aristocratic Licinian family around 115 BC, young Marcus had a head start in life that would make most of us green with envy. But being born rich and staying rich in ancient Rome were two very different ballgames. Crassus's early years coincided with some of the most turbulent times in Roman history. Civil wars, political purges, you name it, Rome had it all. And our boy Marcus? He didn't just survive, he thrived. When Sulla, the Roman dictator, started confiscating properties left and right, Crassus saw an opportunity. He began buying up these properties at dirt-cheap prices, laying the foundation for his vast real estate empire. Talk about turning lemons into lemonade, or in this case, turning chaos into cold, hard cash. Crassus didn't stop at real estate. Oh no, this guy had his fingers in more pies than a baker on a busy Sunday. He dabbled in silver mining, which was like the oil industry of ancient times, but his real stroke of genius, slave trading. Now, before you recoil in horror, and you should because slavery is awful, remember that in ancient Rome this was as common as buying stocks is today. Crassus would buy slaves, train them in various skills, architecture, accounting, you name it, and then rent them out or sell them at a premium. It was like running a temp agency, but with a lot more moral baggage. And let me tell you, it made him rich. How rich? Well, at the height of his wealth, Crassus was estimated to be worth around 200 million sesterces. To put that in perspective, a loaf of bread cost half a sestus. But wait, there's more. Crassus wasn't content with just being wealthy. He wanted to be innovatively wealthy. And that's where his most infamous business venture comes in, his private fire brigade. Now you might be thinking, what's so controversial about putting out fires? Well, hold on to your togas because this is where things get interesting. In ancient Rome there was no public fire department, so Crassus created his own. Sounds noble, right? Oh well, not quite. When a fire broke out, Crassus's brigade would rush to the scene, but instead of immediately dousing the flames, they'd negotiate with the property owner. Either the owner agreed to sell the burning property to Crassus at a fraction of its value, or the brigade would let it burn to the ground. Talk about a hot deal. It was